Alright guys, welcome back to some more MX versus ATV All Out. Today we're checking out 2020 Unadilla. But before we check out 2020, we have to check out 2019. Now 2019, they did a really good job representing Unadilla in the game. I feel like they did the track justice. It feels like Unadilla, it looks like Unadilla. A great job. This is 2019, and it's my favorite track of all time, so I feel like I want to be more critical of this track than any other track, because I love it. It's my favorite track. It's the best track in the world. Personal opinion. It's not a fact. It's just my personal opinion. I love the history behind the track. I love how natural it is. Unadilla, man. It's the track, but 2019, they did a really good job. Now, I will say that Budds Creek, when I did that video, I did it early because I was really busy and I wasn't sure I was going to be able to record it in my normal time frame. So I was a bit ahead, and they did push out a patch for specifically for Budds Creek and Unadilla. And Budds Creek did get a few changes and adjustments to it, so it is a bit better than what we showed you in the video. So if you have the season pass and you compared the track and then remember watching the video, or my video, you might have saw some small subtle changes, but the same goes for Unadilla here. They did change it a little bit. Was it an improvement? Yeah, I would say. But there is a specific section on the track that I feel like they shouldn't have changed, actually. And I'll point that out when we get there. We'll be hopping over into the new 2020 version here in just a second after we hit up the gravity cavity again. Dude, that section is so sick. It's sick. You've got to love the gravity cavity. I mean, dude, if I could just ride this track once in my life, that is definitely a bucket list for me. So this is the closest thing I'll ever get to actually riding Unadilla, my favorite track of all time, in real life. This is as close as we're gonna get in a video game. So here is 2020. You can already see that the track, the color, the lighting, similar to Budds Creek. It looks different. I guess I don't know if it's better, but it's not worse. It's almost like the track, the dirt, isn't as sharp as it was before. But you see they did change that corner. They did change up the ruts a bit, which is something I've been saying. I know that Unadilla hasn't really changed, so they can't really change it in the game. But they could change up some of the ruts. They did add some choppiness to the gravity cavity when you exit and you jump out. It's a bit more rough there. This all feels pretty similar. At first I was thinking it was the same or different. I felt like they built this up, but I don't believe they did. They might have reworked that corner a bit, maybe. I felt like there used to be a weirder rut there. This entire section is definitely rougher. They added in some of that choppiness, the super chopped out braking, acceleration bumps. They did it before this big table too. Most of the time you can get over it plenty fine without a preload, but, you know, it is a bit choppier. Now this section, they did tame this down. They actually smoothed it off. And I'm not a big fan of that. I feel like they did it better in 2019. It had those really deep, thick ruts, and it was super gnarly. It was insane. I don't know why they elected to go less rough there. And I know some people, you know, for me, I like the pre-made roughness because generally I don't do multiplayer or play with people, so, you know, the track doesn't tear up a ton. So to have the ruts and the pre-made roughness is fun for me. But I have seen guys comment saying that they did really long motos, and with a bunch of people in the lobby, I saw some people saying they weren't happy that High Point was as rough as it is, but that track is insane, okay? So I was okay with it, but I can see where in the video game, after a big moto, that track is going to be really, really tough to ride. And I guess it would be kind of like that with Unadilla, but Unadilla doesn't, it's a bit different than High Point. anywhere they can add the braking acceleration bumps where they make the section super, super choppy, really chopped out, I'm a big fan of, because that represents Unadilla so well. And at the end of this, you will see the free ride stuff. There is the hidden tracks, the just the free ride area, and I feel like Unadilla has some of the best free riding stuff out of all the maps. It just has a really, really sweet hidden track. It actually has two, but one of them is really, really good. And so what I showed you already, that's the main changes. I know it's not crazy different, but let's face it, 2020 Unadilla, 2019 Unadilla, basically the same. The big complaint I have is this section, the big hill with the ruts. I mean, come on, man. We need those ruts back. Those ruts were fun. I don't really know why they chose to take that away. I feel like it was better. And also comparing it to 2019, it was easier to ride the track. It was a smoother track, and it was just easier to really get a great flow and, you know, burn off fast laps. And it's tougher here. Even the start straight was tougher. It was just easier for the bike to start hopping and just bouncing, and it wasn't really like that in 2019. So 2020, the start straight is rougher too. Just overall, the track has a bunch of roughness and choppiness added to it. That's the big change. The time of days are about the same, I believe, and overall look pretty similar. So I feel like they were pretty happy with 2019. I was pretty happy with it. I didn't really feel like there was any major problems, I guess, that I had with it. So I guess like I already said at the beginning, being that Unadilla is my favorite track of all time, I want to be more critical of it, but they did a great job. They did a great job with it. I guess I'm just disappointed. I'm going to mention this probably every video, so get used to it. I need a grass-covered Unadilla track, please. Boys and girls at Rainbow Studios, we need this. We need it. Need a grass-covered Unadilla track with that super sick grass deformation. Put grass on it. Let us use the terrain deformation to shave off that grass. And if you run a big multiplayer race or moto with the AI, after a few laps, hey, the grass is gone. I really want to see that, and I mean, I'm sure that's a ton of work, okay? I'm sure it's a ton of work to put all that over the track and everything, but it would be super sick. I guess I'm just glad that they did some changes to this, and again, they did do some similar changes to Bud's Creek. I know I'm not showing you in this video because this video was already getting a bit on the long side, so I just chose to mention it, but it was like a 4 GB update, I believe, for Unadilla and Bud's Creek for the small changes. Now here we have the hidden abandoned motocross track. This is sick. Now, unfortunately, no changes. I was riding the track and I was thinking, man, this is different. I don't remember all of it being this way. I remembered some of it, but not all of it. I don't remember having that alternative line to the left of us there where we went over that double. I don't remember that, but it is there. It was there in 2019, so the track here is the same. I feel like I did a bit better laps on this track. So, and this was a separate video, by the way. So if you missed it last year, hey, now you get to see it. This track is insane. I feel like this is probably the best extra track in the game. My other favorite was probably Southwick. That had a pretty sick secondary track too, but this one is more elaborate and just really well designed. And I believe I have asked if this is a real thing, and some people said it was, some people said it wasn't, so I don't really know whether it's real or not. Sick. Huge triple. And then we do a second lap showing you the alternate line you can take that I was talking about before. Believe we, yep, here we go. Hit all this the same. And the track isn't just a full send. You actually have to choke up, check up. I'll say it both ways so nobody gets offended, but I usually say choke up because it's like baseball. You choke up on the bat. Here we hit a double, bigger double over here. And I don't really remember taking that for you. And then there is trails. There is some trails. There's some cool stuff you can mess around with. And then there's some barn jumps you can hit, which we do hit one for you at the very end of the video. And there is a second track besides this one. So that's coming up here in a second. But overall, I feel like they did a pretty good job. I feel like it was an improvement over 2019, but I was so happy with 2019. I guess I didn't need a ton of changes to it. And the small, subtle changes they did to it were nice. The adding some roughness was great. I feel like they messed up the hill in the back where they took away the ruts. I feel like that was a negative. And again, I was really hoping for that grass-covered Unadilla. Maybe in the future, but we did not get it in this DLC. Switching over to the second track, which is pretty simple, and this one is the same as well. So the changes are very, very, very subtle, but they are there. It's great. I guess I'm not really going to complain, except for that one section I've mentioned multiple times already. Overall, really good job. I am curious to see what you guys think. I feel like it's similar to Redbud. I feel like Loretta Lynn's had the biggest changes still, so big round of applause for that. That track was definitely an upgrade over 2019. Let me know how you guys feel in the comments, and we can have a tiny discussion there. But you guys and girls are absolutely amazing. Thank you so much for the support on the channel lately. It really does mean a lot. And until the next video, take it easy.